Hey guys, I present myself, CEO of Econize-More, Dave Oconee. So again, what is Econize-More? Econize-More is an economic system in goal to partner up with the Canadian government with the slogan of giving $2,000 a month to low income and worldwide, all that through Canadian resources. So what we'll talk about today. So first thing first, we'll talk about all the businesses under Econize-More. Econize-More is an economic system trying to improve the economy in the whole world. But also Econize-More comes with 7 other business. Part in the entertainment world, part in the tech world, part in the car engine world, and also in faith. So we'll talk about the label, the church, Onward, Car, the tech company, Captive. We'll talk about the launching of Econize-More, the plan of launching of Econize-More. Also, we'll finish with Football State 50. Guys, with the amount that we have today, I hope you take all notes and you get all the information you need. So let's start with the label. The label is a business that I'm also growing under Econize-More. So what's the name of the label? The name of the label is 1720 Breakthrough Entertainment. What do we have that comes with a label? We have a curated playlist, a magazine, distribution, publishing, and blogs. This is what I believe will do different from other labels, and I've had them. It comes with the playlist, how we use the playlist on the Breakthrough to break artists out, and the development of artists. Let's start with the playlist. The playlist is a way to break through underground artists to mainstream. Because 1720 Breakthrough is not a underground artist business. It's a mainstream label business, music business. So, with the playlist, it's a way for underground artists to be mainstream. Will have no submission. It's about discovery. So once an A&R of 17 Breakthrough finds your music good enough to be mainstream, we take it and put onto the Blake playlist. The Spotify for artists will give you a notification. And it will come, like, right after you get put onto the playlist, it will come with an article written about you, about the information we see on your Instagram and all. Right? So, the first project under the label, or one of the projects under the label, is the playlist. A way for underground artists to be mainstream, with no submission, and by discovery by our NR, and comes with an article made by us, made with the information we have about you, for the mainstream world to see. This is a way for unsigned artists to break through into the mainstream. But let me add something, right? Once you've been put into the playlist, you are now property. You are unsigned. That means if you went mainstream, Atlantic sees you and signs you, you're totally free to go there. We have just pushed you to the mainstream. But now there's another store. If you feel that you're good enough to be signed on the spot, we sign you under 1720 Breakthrough. 1720 Breakthrough is a way to have a repertoire of artists we would like to sign, but also letting our label knows who can be signed. So now, let's talk about the development of artists. First of all, I gotta say, to sign to my label, you'll have to be 19 and over. To sign to 1720, you'd have to be 19 and over. So what do we have as a development? So a minimum of studio hours is required before release, shows, and the next step, which will be for tour and album. Once you reach tour and album, a maximum hour of rehearsal is required before touring, right? Even if you have put you onto a date that your tour start, you need a required hours of rehearsal before we put you on stage. Now let's say you don't meet the required hours before the tour starts. Well, the label on the agreement will ask that you return the money that we invested into the label before next release or termination of the contract. So that plans it for 1720 and have a kind of an idea of how 1720 is going to go. We'll have a blog, publishing, distribution, magazines, all that for our artists under the catalog, and up and coming artists under the catalog, but discoverable enough for the world to see. All right. And also another thing I wanted to add is we'll also build a school of music on the 1720 under 1720 Breakthrough Entertainment. We'll build a school of music, right? And we'll build a school for artists, how to conduct with therapists and songwriting and understanding and psychology. We'll have, I call it the School of Music, which is a plan, but also the School of Celebrities, which is the school of conducting itself when the pressure is too high. That all comes under 1720, right? And when you ask about the therapy, the school, and everything, with 1720 Entertainment, most of it is paid, right? What is not paid, technically, is your food and transportation when it comes to it. But other than that, on the agreements and contracts, big numbers are being put. So listen to this, guys. 1720 Breakthrough Entertainment is not a celebrity label. It's an artist label. You create the art, we make the celebrities. So what I want to tell you is that once we launch, sign to 1720 Breakthrough. Alright. Now what we're going to talk about now in the next subject, we're going to talk about the second business Econize-More is growing. And that is the church called the Church of David. It's a non-profitable business for all religions to be in one room, right? And how do you enter the church? There's actually a ticket to enter the church, right? It's not a payable ticket with money, and it's not a belief ticket. It's just tell us a scripture or a good verse from your book that you have read that you love, right? And walk you in just to reassure that you're coming with good energy. Example. Let's say you're coming to the door. They will ask you, tell us your favorite scripture or what you have read. You can say Proverbs 4 verse 13, which says something there. I'm not too good with memory of the Bible. Or you can say a quote that's been said, smart people dwell in silence, something like that, right? Good quotes. I don't have upgrading quotes I can bring right now, but good quotes that you could use are good scriptures from any religious book you could use that represent God, right? Positiveness and all, right? That's your ticket to enter the church. It's a non-profitable church. It's totally free. And also, a good side about a church is that when you walk in, before the church starts and everything, there's waffles and hot chocolate at all services. And after the church is ending, there's a free brunch. But a brunch. And I'm talking about. So, let's talk about it. So it's for all religions to be in one room. We praise the Holy Spirit. The podium will have 25 seats. 24 for the powerfuls and 1 for the Pope. I'm talking about the stage. So basically on the stage there will be 25 seats. 24 for all the powerful people of the world. It could be a mayor, it could be a president, it could be a senator. You know what I'm saying? But that's their seat. Right? With 1 seat, the 25th one, for the Pope. Right? Now the offering of the church, right? We accept from 25 cents to $50,000. Also, we give back from $250 to $500 to people in debt, and that's 8 million to 10 million given at each service to 12,000 member minimum of the church. So where will be the opening of this church? I hope and pray a lot that the opening will be at the Los Angeles SoFi Stadium. Every Wednesday and Sunday by the rent, right? We will rent the LA SoFi Stadium every Wednesday and Sunday to preach. Wednesdays we preach at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. Another thing we do is we only do traditional weddings. We give $120,000 to married couple who married out of church. Business, like let's say you have a business and you send us an email that you would like a shout out, we give you a shout out on the big screen. So if you have a business, you come to our church, you want a shout out, send us an email and we shout you on the big screen. Also, what's the goal of the church? First of all, in spiritual ways, is to make people believe stronger than themselves in their dream. It's to make people believe in their faith by using the Holy Spirit as the advocate that the dream will work. Right? That's the goal of the church. Right? Turning people into their faith, their biggest belief, that it can be the biggest thing in the world. Right? Everybody has that with their own idea. Right? That means turning people towards the faith, knowing the Holy Spirit is the advocate for the dream to come true. Also, the goal is to have every stadium rented in the USA for this type of schedule for Wednesday and Sunday. You know, from the university stadiums to professional stadiums based on geography. Now that we have covered the church in 1720, Breakthrough Entertainment, the label. Let's cover the other businesses. So we have Ocar. What is Ocar? Ocar is a business which will give membership to garagemen to have foreign cars parts cheap, like engines, rims, and all. Right? And what do? We import those parts and put them into a storage. And since we already bought the parts in full price and they are in our storage in the place, we can sell it for cheaper, which technically will allow you to make it cheaper for the fixing of foreign cars for your customers. We also have Onwood. Onwood is a company which brings wood to your construction site. If you don't like moving out, buying more too expensive, or stepping out where the work is being strongly made and you want to be focused more on the work than finding the material, call Onwood. We bring you your material for the right price. All brand new, to the quality, for the right price, delivered. Also, what is Onwood going to be in the winter? Onwood could work in the winter for construction too, I can't lie. But what will it be focused on in the winter? Mainly salt. We could do both, but it's going to be for salting, right? Onwood will convert into giving salt to the snowing people, like the people snow, right? To keep that innovation of progress going, you know. So now, before we go into the tech company, Captive, I would like to recoup the plan of the launch of Econize-More, the economic business, right? So this is where we're going. So basically the plan, right? The plan will take 5 to 7 years to be ready after we announce it. So after the big CIBC and all announcing Econize-More, Econize-More will be planning for 5 to 7 years. So it can be ready. We'll take data on each risk, failure, and the plug. So anytime that Econize-More will just work 100% to make sure it works. And it be ready, right? So what we'll do in those 5 to 7 years. So after announcing Econize-More in Canada, we will have to reset the tax return system before giving money, alright? So technically, we would have to cut all the returns, dramatically drop the prices, and reduce importation of product except for gas, right? Anything that can be made in Canada will be for use. Rubber and all these material. By reducing importation, we're stuck with our day-to-day Canadian product, right? Which comes from food to transportation. And I said reduce, not cut. And also, by reducing the importation, it will force the innovation of product to export in Canada to other countries. So during the process, right, we'll give $2,000 a month to everyone equally. This will be the first set of tax returns to all Canadians, just to start the progress, right? and keep you balanced will give you 2,000 a month to everyone equally, right? Because at that time we are resetting the tax returns, right? We calculate our low incomers and our high incomers. We take data, right? After we see the stability of Canada and how innovation is going to its best place in Canada, we launch Econize-More. So in Econize-More, low incomers receive 2,000 a month. High incomers receive 12,000 to 20,000 a month from between. High incomers receive 12,000 to 20,000 a month each 2 to 4 months. Right? What's a high incomer? A high incomer is someone who reportedly makes 100,000 a year. But disabled people and seniors receive 5,000. For veterans, that will be for the government to decide what they're eligible for. You will receive a mail and a mail saying how much you qualify for once we launch. Alright? So once the launching is done, right, you'll receive your chart and what you qualify for the tax returns coming to you. Right? Based on how much you bring in. Alright? And let's say you have the minimum, the $2,000 a month. That's the minimum of low incomers. The reason why we can reach 12,000 to 20,000 each 2 to 4 months is because we increase that number all the way up till you get to 100K, and we bring you that 12,000. But if you're just under, I'm pretty sure before the 12,000 we stop at 7,000 a month. Right? So we think about everybody's hard work. So how to qualify for tax returns, right? What to do to qualify for tax returns, right? You need to do your tax returns every year during the plan. Well, what I'm trying to say is you need to do your tax returns every year before Econize-More launches or before the plan is getting everything. The reason why it's important to do your taxes before Econize-More launches is because you want to have all your pennies and data corrected, right? It's true that AI is doing its thing, but AI doesn't see you. You need to report to us, right? So do your thing, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be happy with what you receive. So the info is AI based, but person control. AI informed, but person control, right? Meaning a person behind the computer removing AI all the time, classing the files and all. What AI is only doing is passing the information to you quicker and making everything quicker. So you will need 28 to 32 hours bi-weekly to qualify as a low incomer. Below 28 hours is a non-worker, but you still qualify for $500 a month, right? So again, the main goal is bring Canada to the top and be at the source of the economy by supporting and not competing. Leasing to first world countries a system for $600 million a year, and to third world country $300 million a year. And what is the $600 million a year we talk about each year? It's the threshold that shows that your country is totally working. So basically, with our system. So basically, you could have made $23 billion that year. We're only asking for the threshold, $600 million a year. Same with the low incomers, 300 million a year until the contract is reformed. So we want to rebrand the whole Canadian look, from houses to transportation, and give it under a lease. In the near future, we also want to have and keep Americans as an emerging economic force under Econize-More. Canada is strong. Now let's go for the Canadian dream, right? Canada is strong. Let's go for the Canadian dream, which comes to almost the closure, the next project, which is the tech company Captive. So again, if you remember in my last videos, I've told you Econize-More plan for Canada is to bring it into intellectual technology, meaning the main force of Canada being intellectual technology, right? Or yeah, right? And let's talking about the Canadian dream, right? Econize-More has for goal to build the biggest tech company made in Canada. And that tech company will be called Captive. Captive with a K. Right? So, to start the launch of Captive, Captive will start its launch with a phone. Right? So, what is this phone? This phone is powered 100% by AI. Okay? You can use a quicker schedule by text or voice. Develop your phone daily by voice. What does that mean, to develop your phone daily? Before the next software update, you can make your phone look like next generation already by developing it with AI. Voice or text. Also, we have an internet storage. The internet storage meaning that if you have too much files, you can save on the Wi-Fi, which means you won't be able to open those files if you don't have Wi-Fi, which might be the start of a new internet line for Captive, right? Also, there's voice recognition. You can unlock your phone with your voice. There will be a camera prompt feature that gives advice and compliments when you take those pictures live. It will recommend zooming and lightning and you can set it automatically or you can set it manually, right? Also, it has a built-in security feature that communicates with all smart homes. We have the built-in photo tags. What's the built-in photo tags? The built-in photo tags is when you take a picture and you tag your friend, right? And you say, AI, find me this photo with my friend in Washington in June 24, 2006, right? And AI will bring that photo that happened in June 24, 2006. Right? I should have said 2026, but I'm just giving dates and places, you know? And I know I'm saying Washington a lot. That's because it's the first city that comes in my mind. You know? But also, on that part, the part where you tag, the location will be found. You can say, "Yeah, I found me the picture in France, right, or in Chicago, right?" And AI will find it automatically, but it cannot recognize who's beside you. So even when I say AI, find me a friend, find me a photo with Dave, right? It won't be able to find it for you. You'll have to tag it until the next generation phone comes in. The next generation phone, how you'll be able to say, AI, find me a photo with, it will just connect it to the profile pic you put on the contact. So let's say you have Jocelyn, right? and you have a profile pic of, and you on the contact, and her name is Jocelyn. You say, captive, find me photo with Jocelyn in Chicago at Dayton, whatever. Be more precise, helping the phone finding it quicker and better, right? It will come out. And how it will come out? AI will match the face to the contact picture, right? And it will be easy to find if you put your contacts as favorites, right? So yeah. Also, we have Mood AI. Mood AI is taking the palm or fingerprint to the next level. So Mood AI will be able to read your nervous system and stress system, which will allow the phone to play the best shuffle playlist to you. We can direct it to your general favorite artist, but I tell you, you have the next music. And how does it work? Let's say you just finished working out, or you're gonna go work out. You take your phone, you say, Captive, play me a shuffle. It will play the best shuffle you ever heard. Right? Now, we also have a worldwide built-in platform, or worldwide music built-in platform called Captive Sound. Right? It's available on all apps and stores to listen and drop music. Right? How does the app work? Alright? Everybody can have it, and all the phones can have it. You can drop music from your phone and from the laptop. Now, let's talk about the prices, right? For the discovering sound, underground artists, up and coming artists, and all who are not signed and whatever, right? That's free music to y'all. You know, there's drops, and it's free music to y'all, plus your special drop, right? But for the mainstream artists, for them to come onto our platform, we'll need a subscription, right? So to listen to someone like Drake or Rihanna, right, you'll need to pay for a subscription, you know. But to listen to your friend or someone you met, or someone you found Atlanta, or someone you know in a community of Captive, that's free, and your drops are free too with no Quora, because we now have our own internet line, right? And also, it's for the artists to choose, like, you know, the ones who are signed. It's for them to choose which ones are free, which one are payable to listen to. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you get the best experience with that platform for listening to the best artists of your ears, but also for being the best artist and dropping your own stuff. Right? We also have AI Creative Brainstorm. It's a built-in app with sections like photo, studio, architect, finance, and more to help you create fast. So how does it work? You go into the AI Brainstorm app. You say, Captive, open me the finance page, right? And you say, Captive, I would like to budget for many things at the same time, right? And you say, Captive, I would like to budget for a car, a house, and a trip, right? And it will brainstorm with you, right? Same with music, same with architecture, and same with photos and all. It will, like, when we use brainstorm photo, it will tell you which settings from the phone, recommend actually which settings from the phone you can use to take the best picture. And let's say you want to go to the normal photos. I'm pretty sure in our phone, right, you'll be able to reset it a certain way, right? But every setting that you tweak should be able to come back to standard with no problem. Like one button, because voice sometimes it'll mix the phone, right? We need second generation, third generation. But when it comes to like, oh, I added settings and I want it back to standard, that should be easy with one or two buttons, and easy to find too, right? We also have the AI operating system. You say, Captive, schedule me with Mr. Dave, right? Captive schedule me with Mr. Dave. You know, Captive will schedule you by voice. And you can say to Captive, Captive, remind me on that day at a certain hour, I gotta wear my black shoes. And not only Captive reminds you gotta wear your black shoes, but it says, hey Dave, you gotta wear your black shoes. Right? Another way you can use AI operating system, if it's not for scheduling, is for booking onto the internet. Right? Until we develop further, that's how it works. Let's say you want to book into a music studio. You say, Captive, book me to a music studio. Right? Captive will find all the studios in your city, right, with the best prices and all, right? If you say Captive, book me for that studio, it will click into the link and you have to do the rest yourself until we develop further and we have more, right? So now we have the AI 3D map. The AI 3D map is the first feature of the first gen phone of Captive to be always 3D. So it's a hologram that will come on your phone, which when you touch your phone and look for the streets, it will be able to show you. So it's like being in the scene before being in the scene. Also, the phone comes with AI first gen glasses, AI first gen 3D glasses, right? So what is the AI first gen 3D glasses? It's the glasses that comes with the phone or can be bought with the phone that will allow your phone to be 3D at all time because of the built-in feature in the phone. So let's say you wear those glasses. You want to go on Netflix. You can watch Netflix 3D from your phone. Let's say you want to go on Facebook. You can be on Facebook 3D from your phone. Let's say you want to play Call of Duty or Madden. All that with the glasses will be 3D on your phone. When turning on, it says, hey, and your name. That can be set into the settings. It will be USB-C charging, waterproof. It will soft charge to 20% after dying if the capability of the memory of the phone is more than 30%. The phone memories are of 2800 gigabytes, 3200 gigabytes, and 4500 gigabytes. The price of the phone starts at 750 Canadian and the glasses are 180 Canadian, right? Captive will detect chemicals and untraceable calls and will just block them, right? So let's say you're getting called and this number is not traceable and you don't know it and it could be a scam or whatever. Captive just blocks it. You can still find it, but Captive just blocks it. We also have the picture calculator. The picture calculator is being able to take pictures of prices, take pictures of prices at the grocery stores, and Captive will give you the full amount of the price. Even taking pictures of a math equation, and Captive will give you the whole equation with the answer. Not to use for school, right? But to use for your personal learning, right? Also, let's say you want measurement, right? Perimeters, like, you can take pictures of corners and Captive will give you the measurement or perimeter. You just have to ask what you want. Also, for altitude and everything that surrounds that type of math thing, right? For all type of math. It's called the pic calculator. It's for all type of math. Obviously, after development, we want to come with a lot more technology. We want to come with tablets, laptops, headphones, watches, like talking suitcase, everything technological. Everything that we can turn into technology, Captive wants to touch it, right? And each devices will have its own AI feature, right? Because Captive is a tech company that wants to make its product almost impossible to upgrade, but always ready for an upgrade. We also have a built-in app called New K, right? In big words, New Captive. Available in app stores, giving the availability to share files between all phones, right? If you're not a user of Captive, you will need a full membership to share files under the Captive app. But right, if you're a Captive user, you don't gotta pay to share to another phone or to share to another Captive device, right? So now, the phone switches languages by voice by only saying, "Hey, Captive, switch phone to." Captive will make sure by voice by voice of that language that you want to switch it to that language. If you press cancel in the primary language, Captive stays the primary language. I hope you understood. So, also we'll have a built-in card, a built-in ATM card into your phone. It goes up to 5 cards, right? It's a way to be able to cash out at the ATM. It's a way to be able to cash out at the ATM with your phone, right? And I thought about an idea of how I wanted the cards of the phone to look like. I was like, the back should be light colored, right? It could be pink, yellow, I don't care, but light colored, right? So when you open your card, the card takes the whole phone with the fake little what is it called, chip. Yes, with this chip, right? And you just tap it, right? And and you put your pin in, you can cash out, right, to an amount you want. How? Because it will work differently. You just don't add your card onto the phone. You add the whole bank information onto your phone, and it's personal to you. We're not checking anything, but you add your whole bank information onto your phone, right? And the phone comes with a built-in e-bank card, right? And yeah, you go to your bank. They put the full information of your bank on your phone, and like that, you can cash out at ATMs with your phone, right? A way to communicate machines. There will also be an event gore notification. So let's say this is an app where you put in your favorite hobbies, right? And that app sends you events that's happening in your city based on what you like that you've put in, right? And we also have Captive Share, a built-in app where pictures, group chat, album pictures, text, and all from your phone can be shared, liked, and commented to the Captive users, right? So Captive will have an app called Captive Share, and I believe that's only for Captive, where you can grow in followers, right? And how do you use that app? You can use it as Twitter, like typing quotes, or you can share a whole for the album, or you can share text, or you can anything you want to share for your phone. You can share it directly to the Captive Share, right? And how would it work with text, right? Let's say you want to share a text. You say Captive share this text, right? It will send a notification to the other person, asking them if they allow the text to be shared. If they answer yes, then all you gotta do is share it to Captive. You can make all the edits you want, no screenshot, phone planted, and post on Captive Share, right? And that is for Captive, the new tech company, right? That's for Captive actually, and that's the main highlights behind the phone that will be the first launch of Captive. Now that we have talked about Captive, we have talked about the plan, let's talk about the last project Econize-More has. And that's Football State 50. So what is Football State 50? Football State 50. Well, before I start, what is Football State 50? In my belief, watching American football, I believe there's AAA high school teams, right? And if you don't qualify for a AAA high school team, you're automatically a recreational football team, like a recreational high school team, right? And after, right from high school, it's the NCAA, right? There might be other leagues and all, but it's not as like the NCAA, right? So that's why I create Football State 50, right? Football State 50 starts at 14, ends at 22 years old. So what happens to Football State 50? If you're a AAA high school team, you can stay your team. If you're a recreational high school team, then to be part of Football State 50, your high school team will need to convert into a city team, the city of your high school. Alright? And how does it work? Right? It's that cities plays other cities in the state until cities move states to play other states until we find the two cities of the best states and they play the championship, right? Based on the geography of the states, right? And then, what I was gonna say, that goes all the way down to 22 years old. So you can always have a chance to be discovered, always have a chance to play hard, and always be under that pressure you love of football, right? Because Football State 50 will be competitive, and at the end, everybody wants it. We're not playing the championship in your city. The city that wins will never play in your city. We make sure that you have a flight to another city, and we pay your flight on a plane, right? So guys, these are all the 7 businesses under Econize-More. Remember, first of all, Econize-More is an economic business, right? With a slogan of giving $2,000 a month to low-incomers worldwide through Canadian resources. Guys, this ends the presentation. My name is Dave Oconee, CEO of Econize-More. Have a good day.